What's up, people? How you doing? My name is Kasanda Bill. Welcome to the Naked Ego Podcast, a platform where men are willing to strip down their ego and be authentic and vulnerable while they share their story. Are you willing to do that?
Always
Stuff.
ready. Always ready.
Let's get into the show. Today's episode has been brought to you by our partner here at Istiqbal Home Furniture. Wow, how you doing, man?
And my name is Edgar.
Oh, yeah.
Just say.
Yeah, Edgar Jamlek. How are you, man?
I'm easy, bro.
How you doing?
I'm good.
How you feeling?
It's been an interesting week.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've been challenged quite a bit mentally. A few things have triggered my anxiety, but I know what they are. It's now, I just need to take the opportunity to sort it out.
Yeah.
I need to have some tough conversations
Yeah.
with a bunch of people.
Yeah, you need those.
Yeah.
You remember I was talking to you on chat and I was like, this year is that year when we just get to do the hard stuff. We just put our head down and just do the work.
Exactly.
If a relationship calls for a certain conversation, man, initiate
it. Don't wait for the initiation. Initiate it.
Yes.
Take the lead.
And I think that's where I am right now.
Okay.
I'm in an interesting space psychologically. I'm at a point where I'm getting to connect with people more.
Yeah.
Have you ever messaged somebody who you thought you always had like a surface conversation and now they want to have like a deep conversation? They're even inviting you, come over, I want to talk. Yeah, so, and it's not happening. I don't know why it's happening this year, and it's not just happening with one person.
A couple of people?
Yeah, it's a couple of people.
Is it because of your podcast?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
I think maybe they, through your podcast, they've gotten to see there's more to you than what they
used to. Yeah.
They used to see those days.
Yeah.
So if they only knew you because of biking,
yes,
and working out,
yes, and gym,
and that's it. But now they're like, oh wow, this guy doesn't just gym and bike. He actually has, good conversations that are needed in their spaces.
Yes.
So because I'm in the same situation because of this podcast, and there's an episode I did on another podcast where I talked about why I quit alcohol.
Yeah,
and because of what I'm doing with you, and what I did in that particular episode, I've gotten a lot of people reaching out, either just to say thank you for what I share, what I've been sharing, telling me that we're doing a good job, but also asking for a deeper conversation.
Yes.
That they want to have. They've been trying to have it with themselves.
Yes.
But they're also yearning to have it with someone, but they just don't know who. Which also goes to make me, think about. I think a lot of people who don't have, they're in many circles.
Yeah.
Or they're in several circles. Yes. But in those circles, they can't have certain conversations.
True.
And the conversations that are really needed for us to navigate our day-to-day life. Yeah.
There are so many men who I know belong in certain groups.
Yeah.
And they would want to have such conversations, but because that group does not entertain, does not encourage, then they just keep quiet. And today's episode, today's episode, we are going to talk about something. Actually, these are a picture. It's something. One of the team members shared with us on Naked Ego podcast WhatsApp group. And
now that I'm a co-host.
Yes, now that you're co-host,
admin, cheza kama wewe.
Yeah,
do the thing.
Siku isishe
by close of business.
Yeah, so it was something in the context of, I think I'll read it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So one guy posted and said, a lot of radio stations and TV stations talking about depression in men, encouraging them to seek therapy. The best medication for depression in men is having a functional and productive economy. The therapy men need is productive economy with jobs, opportunities, which they can use to support themselves and their families. Fixing an ailing economy is the best mental therapy for men. A bad economy is a mental disaster for men. And then somebody kind of retweeted and said, I cannot shout any louder than this. Therapy won't solve anything if the root cause of the problem is the undermining of a man's status as a provider. Fix the goddamn economy. Put money back in circulation. Let men work because we find our worth in earning and providing where applicable. We find our worth in earning and providing
where applicable.
When does that stop, man?
So where is it applicable before we get anywhere? Where is it applicable? Because I feel like that tweet was said with a lot of emotion.
Yes,
which is fine. It was his opinion to state. So when we talk about where applicable, is that what in just our jobs and our homes? Meaning with homes, meaning our families? Or does that extend to like our friendships as well?
I think it also depends with the type of relationships that we develop or cultivate with our friends, with our partners, even with our family, even at work.
Yeah.
I think the type of relationships that you build will either work for you
or work against you. Okay.
Yes.
So now, the two gentlemen have spoken from their hearts.
Yes.
As we are here on a podcast.
Yes, and
we're also coming here to speak from our hearts.
Disclaimer: this opinion from two heterosexual men.
Yes.
Go on, Edgar.
I mean, from these two tweets, there's a lot that has been said. There's the aspect of radio stations and TV stations talking about depression, depression in men. Yeah. And then there's also the encouragement of men to seek therapy. Meaning that the radio stations and TV stations that are talking about this are seeing that there's need for that in men. Yeah. Then comes the other side of things. And I quote, the best medication for depression in men is having a functional and productive economy. So another problem has been cited, which is an ailing economy. Yeah. Yeah. And then he has given his remedy for that ailing economy.
Yes.
Yeah. And according to him, if men don't have jobs or opportunities where they can earn money, then their mental health is in jeopardy.
Yes.
And to him, that's how he sees it. And the guy who quoted his tweet said more or less the same thing.
Yeah, he just cemented.
He's just like, fix the economy, and that way our worth as men will be shown, will be seen.
What do you think about that tweet? Personal opinion.
First of all, I'm glad that radio and TV stations are being noticed enough to talk about mental health. I, for one, I'm very passionate about mental health.
Yeah.
For everyone, not just men, but for everyone.
Yes.
Both men and women.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that this topic is being talked about a little bit more often. Before it used to be either mental health month and stuff like that, but now it's coming up a little bit more often.
Yeah.
So other than that, let's see. To these guys, therapy is null and void.
Yes.
Yeah. In a nutshell, it's not what will fix the problem. What will fix the problem is the economy. So maybe what I think I'd say is, these guys maybe I will assume that they may be talking either on their behalfs or on the behalf of men that they know.
Yeah.
Whose circumstances at this point in time in this country, Kenya, are not so good. Meaning that they have lost their ability to provide for themselves if they're single, for their families if they are dating, and or married.
Yeah.
And because they've lost that ability,
Yeah.
then their value add as a man
As a man
has gone.
has been lost.
It's been lost.
Yeah.
And to them, the only way they can get their value add back on track is the ailing economy. So it's
Yes.
true, yes, the economy is ailing. It's
Yeah.
been ailing for some time.
For some time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been ailing for some time.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I mean, there's a part of me that agrees with what these guys have said. But to give you context,
Yes.
what I'll say is a lot of what we need, especially like in this country,
Yes.
is facilitated by you having money
So, yes.
of any kind.
Yes.
You know, whether it's to get food, whether it's to put fuel, whether it's to pay for your transport on public service vehicles, whether it is to get a delivery done to you, you know, whether it is to travel,
Whether it's to go for therapy.
whether it is to go for whether it is to go for therapy. You need money.
Yeah.
So whether it is to go for therapy.
Yeah.
And whether it's to go meet your buddies
Yes.
for social interactions, you know, whether it's at the club, at restaurants,
Yeah.
whether it's hiking,
Yes.
going to the gym
Yeah.
to work out,
Yeah.
all this needs money.
Yes.
And now I think our economy had been doing badly.
Yeah.
And if I go with the context of the traditional man,
Yes.
a man whose one of his main purposes in life
Yes.
is to provide.
Yeah.
Our economy was already doing badly.
Very.
And then COVID hit and accelerated all of that. So there are a lot of people who either got salary cuts
Yeah.
or just entirely lost their jobs.
Jobs. Yeah.
They had to shut down their businesses.
Yeah.
And that meant that they now will not be able to do this thing. They will not be able to serve their purpose, basically,
Exactly. They can't sustain the type of lifestyle that they had
that
before.
they had before.
Yeah.
You know, they will not be able to buy the types of food that they buy.
Yeah.
They will not be able to eat at the spots that they eat at.
They can't visit the places they
Can't-
used to
exactly. They can't travel
Yeah.
the way they want to. So even if we were to remove lockdown,
visit. Yeah.
there's some people even after lockdown was removed, they still can't travel even locally because they don't have that money.
True.
Now, it would be a lie if I said that you not being able to, for any person, not even just a man,
Yeah.
but for any person, man or woman, it would be a lie if I said that when that is taken away from you,
Yeah.
that it will not impact your mental health.
Yeah.
It would.
It will.
Let's call a spade a spade. It would. It will impact your mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's this thing you are able to do so easily.
Yes. Yes.
You know, or even if you weren't able to do it at the time you wanted, you could plan.
Yeah.
Because you know your financial status.
Yes.
You know the access that you have to, that the access you'll have to money for the next, let's say, 6 months.
Yeah.
So if it's a saving plan, you get onto that, and you pay for whatever it is. But now that's been stripped. You know, and you're sitting and you're looking at yourself and you're like, damn, what the hell am I going to do? Because you want to do these things, but you can't.
Your hands are tied.
Your hands are tied. So what do you do? And if the people around you only look at you, if the people you have around you
Yeah.
only look at you for the value add of provision alone, definitely when that is taken away from you, they'll look at you sideways.
Who decides how people around you look at you?
Society has some rules. And I don't know where these rules came up from. I don't know who formulated these rules. I have no idea. You know? But a lot of it, for me, in my opinion, patriarchy.
Okay.
Patriarchy plays a very big role in a lot of how guys like these two gentlemen, how they think.
Yeah.
You know? And for them, that's just what it is. You know, I don't know how they've grown up. I don't know in what environments they grew up in. I don't know what type of people they had around them. But with what they're saying, for them, the value add that they have to exist in society,
Yeah.
to be respected, to be open for some doors, to sit in either boardrooms or just normal offices, for
Yeah.
you to enter certain restaurants,
Yes.
certain pubs, with to enter a clan, you have to have some financial muscle behind you.
So have you agreed or not agreed to that message? to that tweet?
I'm on the fence.
You're on the fence.
I'm on the fence because to me it's not as black and white as they put it.
There's shades.
There's a lot
shades
of
gray.
Shades of gray there's shades of gray that exist that have not been addressed in that tweet for whatever reason. Yeah. But those shades of gray, I feel, are what probably you and I should discuss to the best of our ability. Yeah.
For the first time, somebody's raising their hand. Naked ego.
I think, that's just something that we could discuss here. Yes. I mean, I'd not do any justice if I bashed them online.
Yeah.
I'd just take what they're saying and see and try and understand where they're coming from, even if I don't like what they're saying, even if I don't believe.
And actually, Naked Ego podcast is not structured that way. Naked Ego podcast is structured to help men.
Yes.
Like, we are here to help each other.
Yes.
This podcast has been structured, built specifically for men.
Yes.
What do I think about that tweet?
Yeah.
For me to look at it, I felt it was like you being in a relationship. Mm-hmm. You have a problem with your partner for a day, for a week, for a month. You haven't been talking to your partner to address those problems. And then 1 year later, your partner drops a pencil and then everything blows up. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I felt like they were doing an injustice to therapy by dragging it into that comment, in the sense that a man's financial ability has got a lot to do with their well-being. Mm-hmm. Yes, like you having your finances in order, it's a good thing for your well-being. Mm-hmm. Yes, but they brought therapy into it in the sense that, why do I do therapy personally? For me, I go to therapy once a month or once every other month.
Okay.
Yes. Why do I go to therapy? Mm-hmm. To manage my stress better.
Yes.
To cope with the struggles better. Mm-hmm. Yes. So therapy is a tool for, in this context, for men to be able to deal and handle their situations better. Therapy is not there to switch off your struggles. No. Therapy is there to assist you and help you and guide you through. Because when you go through some level of stress, you stress wears your thinking ability and your reasoning ability. Like, you're not thinking straight. Mm-hmm. So therapy is there to rebuild that thinking ability so that you can now go back out there and think straight.
Yes.
So blaming, saying that the economy is the solution to our well-being, I feel like they were actually piling too many things together.
They were.
We need to understand one thing.
Yeah.
Our financial muscle is very important for a man. That is a tick. That's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Why? Because the society has structured us that way, and also just the needs of a man, and also you to just sustain everything around you need some finances.
Yes.
That is okay. And we also need to acknowledge one thing, like the economy in the country is bad.
Yes.
And it's bound to get worse. It's an election here, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And COVID just did a lot of injustice to the economy. Yeah. So we are really struggling. Most of us are struggling. Mm-hmm. If there is somebody who doesn't struggle, I would like to know them and hang around them and be their friend.
Oh, yeah.
But most of us are struggling.
Yes.
And one thing that I learned personally when COVID came, COVID taught us how to... COVID came here to teach us how to not readjust. I'm looking for the right term. I had the right term. But COVID requires us to readjust. It's like you are dancing to a certain music and then the tune changed. You won't stop dancing.
No.
Yes.
You just change your dancing style.
You just change your dancing style. Like if you are hustling in this way and it's not working anymore, you need to readjust. Yes, I feel like that is what we need to be doing, because at the end of the day, when all of us men decide to sit down and say, fix the economy so that our mental health is fixed, honestly, one thing I believe in the power of doing something that you have control over.
Yeah.
It needs to start with you, something that you can control.
Okay.
And if your business shuts down, or you probably your paycheck has been reduced into half,
Yeah.
or something has happened to whatever means that you are using to get money, if that has been affected, you need to readjust. Yes, we need to readjust.
Yeah.
That is one thing.
Okay.
Therapy, on the other hand, is just a tool to help us maneuver this planet Earth in a better way, in a safer way.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we are also interacting with other people.
Yeah.
If I bottle my emotion for 2 years, by the time my mom is telling me one thing and then she challenges me just a little bit, I might burst.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like we need to understand exactly what therapy is there for.
Yes.
Therapy is not there to fix your mental health. No. Therapy is there to help you maneuver better in this planet.
Yeah, because life challenges are always there. They're
Always
always
there.
It's
Always
just
there.
how to
Edgar.
navigate them,
Yes,
probably.
it's always how to navigate.
But okay, if I were to go with this tweet again,
Yes.
I'd say this. What if the economy is running and there's money circulating, and the money is circulating into your account and pouring into your account,
I like where you're going with this. Keep going.
and you now think that, okay, because now I have money in my economy, what is it now doing?
Yeah.
It's now made me happier.
Yeah.
But what's your version of happy? What do you do with your happiness? Because there's some people who, when they have the money in their hands,
Yeah.
in their accounts,
Yes.
they're just not good people. They don't treat people well. They make bad choices.
Yes.
That have dire consequences.
Yes.
So all in the name of I have money. It gets you to do things that just aren't right.
Yeah.
That show your personality. There's something I read sometime last year, and it in verbatim, basically what it was saying is someone's true personality comes out when they move from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
So if they had a lot of money and then for whatever reason they transitioned into a space where they don't have access to that money, the personality you see with the broke guy,
Yeah.
that's their true personality,
yes, exactly.
and works the other way around. You have a broke guy who doesn't have money. Then at some point they get money.
Yeah.
Then you're like, I knew this guy when he didn't have money and he was not like this. So how is it that now he has money
And now things have changed.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
So if we are going to talk, if you're going to use this tweet as the gospel truth,
Yeah.
I'd like to hear the opinion on that, because there are people who've had access to money and they just became terrible human beings.
And also, there are people who have money right now and they've got just a lot of mental situations going on
Exactly.
in their life. How would you explain that? Or how would they explain that to us?
Exactly.
Yes.
But now, since they are not here,
Yes.
now we have to find a
We
way.
have
We
to find-
have to find a way to explain
Yes,
it to
yes.
ourselves and
For-
for those
for-
who
for me-
will be watching.
For me, I cheer them up for actually having the courage to speak about this. But the only point that I feel like whoever is listening to this podcast should take away is therapy and tying it to and saying it's null and void because the economy is the fixer of all men's
all
problem.
problem.
It's a lie to me.
It's a lie.
It's a lie to
It's a
me.
lie.
Yes, it's important for us to have our financial muscle, financial situation in order for us to have our well-being in a good well-being managed. But therapy is just there to help us struggle better, go through life better, manage our emotions better, and not project to our wives, not project to our kids, and not do that. So let's take a short break, and we will be right back.
Boom.
This is the Naked Ego Podcast. This episode has been brought to you by one of our partners, Istiqbal. Istiqbal is an international brand with presence in over 90 countries and with over 1,700 stores open worldwide. Welcome back to the Naked Ego Podcast. Okay. This is interesting. So we had a little bit of sidebar during the break.
Yes.
And there's a very important note, a very important point to note. Causality and correlation, right?
Yes.
So I think the economy is not a causality. It doesn't cause depression.
No.
It does not cause.
It's not the main thing.
It's not the main thing that
causes
causes.
depression.
Because actually, for you to be depressed, you need a number of constant stressors in your life over a period of time for you to get to that point. So, bad economy is not a causality. It's correlated.
It's correlated.
It's kind of related, but it doesn't cause directly.
Okay.
Yeah, in this sense that when there is bad economy, now all men are suffering from mental health.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. It can't be a general statement.
It can't be a general statement.
It can't be a blanket statement. Like
yes.
If there's a bad economy, then that means all men
exactly
suffer.
But it's correlated in the sense that there are people who probably in one way or another
have been affected.
It might be that tipping point to your ill health.
Yes. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
So I think that's very important point to note. Yeah. Why am I talking backwards?
Relax.
I need to relax. Yeah, I'm relaxed.
Yeah. So, I think my
You are also talking backwards. Take it away, man.
But this is the one episode that we are. But everything is off the cuff.
Yes.
Not scripted. It's off the cuff. But I think this is how we have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, like it's not good or bad economies.
Yes.
Are not the the eventuality of good or bad mental health in men.
Yes.
I think then it would be prudent for us to discuss things like what does cause, other than what they stated as the economy being the sole reason.
Yeah.
Do you think there are other contributing factors that lead to men's ill mental health?
Yeah.
And if so, what are those? And then we can probably talk about how we've seen people navigate that sort of space.
Yes.
To see whether it's healthy or not healthy.
Yes. Cool. Do we have other things that cause men ill mental health?
Yes,
they
men.
are.
Mm-hmm.
What are they? I think there's so many.
Even any three.
Any three?
Anything.
Okay, cool. I think I think one of them could be for me. I always keep saying this, like mental illness, especially depression, comes as a result of too many constant stressors in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And a stressor can be something as simple as probably a man's expectations, either from your family, from the society. You get it? Like, what does Nairobi expect from you as a man?
As a man.
Yes, what does your family expect from you as a man?
Okay.
Yes, so it can be, I think most of societal expectations are very screwed in some way.
Yeah.
they in to some level, I feel like, especially in Nairobi, we use like the cream of men
Yes.
as a measure of what your expectations should be.
Okay.
You get what I
Okay.
mean? Like,
Okay.
yes.
So the popular,
Yes.
whether it's in media, whether it's in corporate, whether it's in business,
exactly. So people
or
who,
politicians,
yes,
even.
people who are excelling in those respective fields, we use them as the measure of how a man should be.
And maybe to add to that, it will be the measure of a man,
Yes.
and the guarantee that they are probably in a good mental health space.
Yes. Yeah, and actually, when we use them as a measure of what a man should be, it's never related. It's never, the mental health is never factored.
It's not.
It's never factored in most cases.
But I think then that means it's just more of a material.
It's more of material.
Yeah, it's being looked at from a material perspective.
Yes.
Other than maybe life experiences that these men might have had continuously that has impacted them. So for me, I think like my top 3, top of my head, trauma.
Yes.
That could be, let's say, your childhood trauma.
Yes.
Growing up maybe in a violent home, stuff like that. Maybe growing up watching your parents fight, either it's fight verbally, fight physically. You also being...
What's the difference between that and trauma?
No, that's part of.
Okay.
Part of trauma.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So under the spectrum of trauma,
yes,
you have those type of things.
Exactly.
Maybe growing in an unstable home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2 would be sex abuse. So it will still fall into trauma.
Trauma, yes.
But
can we, under trauma,
yeah.
I think we've talked about the societal expectation, like what people expect from you. That's a causative. It's something that will cause your mental health to depreciate, or and trauma is also one of them. Can we just mention like 2 or 3 under trauma? Like you've talked about child abuse. I think for me, I can even say something like breakup.
Breakups. Yes. A relationship breakups. Sex abuse as well.
Sex abuse, yes.
So that's very big, and a lot of people don't talk about it.
Another thing could also, like, I don't know if it falls under trauma, like, for example, being fired from a loss of job.
Loss of a job. No, I wouldn't call that a traumatic experience. It's a life occurrence, but I wouldn't call it traumatic. But I think you losing a job, I
see what you mean. It's
it
not
have an impact on you, but I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't label it as a traumatic.
Yes.
Experience.
Yes.
That one has had.
Yes.
So
it goes to that line. It's correlated, but it's not a causative.
Yes.
Go on.
Let's see. Under trauma. I don't know if... No, I don't think addiction. I would say addiction, but I don't know. I don't think addiction would be under trauma. It would be... It probably would be something else, like a separate... one of the things that will lead to a man's ill mental health.
Yes.
I'd say addiction is also another thing. War.
War, yes.
War, because there are those people who have gone to war, and after if let's say they were lucky enough to come out of the war and with their lives still intact, they are the PTSD that comes,
the post-traumatic
stress that comes with going through war, is it weighs quite heavily on these guys, and the aftercare that comes, that either is there or not there, does impact these guys, because now they're moving from a situation where they were in a war zone area, and now they're coming to normal daily life.
Yes.
And you'd find that something as as normal as a car screeching would jolt them. Sharp noises, a door banging, it sends you back to those, your fight or flight mode is activated, and it sends you back to those moments.
Yes. I remember for me, after my motorcycle accident when I lost my leg.
Yeah.
Every time I would be in a car and then would have a sudden moment of braking.
Yes.
That would send me to that moment.
Ah.
Yes. Like every time somebody would brake suddenly,
Yes.
that will send me back. And I think that is the main reason why I worked so hard to start driving myself.
So that you could be the one in control.
Yes.
So if the car is braking, it's because you are
It's
the
me,
one.
I'm the one braking. Like, yes.
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. So that yeah. Because with you controlling, then you feel safe.
Yes, I feel safe because I'm the one making the decision. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
and another thing is I'm thinking of abuse, but I really don't know where to place it.
abuse would be separate. It will be it's part of trauma. Actually, yeah.
Yes.
Because abuse is traumatic.
Yes.
Yeah. Abuse is
abuse,
traumatic.
yes.
Abuse is traumatic.
Because
Whether it's physical abuse or
yes.
sexual abuse.
Yes.
That's part of it's a traumatic.
Yeah, and it can be in your home, it can be workspaces, it can be with your partner.
Yes.
Yes. It's
So you see now with those things we've listed,
yes.
those can still happen in a thriving economy.
Wow.
Yeah, those still even to date.
Yes.
In countries where the economy is thriving,
It's booming.
these things happen.
Exist every day.
And it happens to people with or without money. Okay.
Yes.
Now, are we in agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now when they happen, we've distinguished that these things can happen.
Yeah.
I think it's how do we deal?
Yes.
Because if you're in a thriving economy and we've distinguished that these things happen,
yes.
we still need to deal. We still need to be part of the thriving economy.
Yeah.
I still need to show up at work.
Yes.
I still need to show up at my place of business.
Yes.
I still need to provide.
Yes.
I mean, I still need to earn to provide for my
You still
for
need
my
to
people.
take care of yourself.
Still need to take care of myself.
Yes.
So how do I achieve this? That is part of what makes what we say a man. Yeah. How do I achieve all this when this has happened? Because they are wrong in whatever. However, if we were to pick each and every item, those are not. They're not good. They're not good situations to be in. To go through.
Yes, they're all stressors.
They're all stressors. Yeah. So how do we deal?
I wanted to say, okay, so we can talk about how do we deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to say heal, but how do people heal though? Therapy. Yes. I think sometimes back I was talking to a friend of mine and there's a project we wanted to start around the healing which has not materialized yet.
Yeah.
I hope we get to start it this year. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
But we came up to like roughly if half of the world's population will just heal from their trauma.
Yes.
The world will be a better place.
The world would be an amazing place.
Yeah, the world would be an
amazing
place. Like the amount of trauma that we carry from every interaction, like on a day-to-day basis. And it influences our decisions every day.
Bring in money.
Yeah.
It influences your decision.
Yes.
So you could have the money, but it will influence a bad decision.
Yeah.
Because see, okay, very easy example that happens all over the world.
Yes.
You are in a stressful job environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most guys like going for the relationship part. Let's go the other side.
Yes.
You're in a stressful work environment.
Yeah.
It's a toxic working space.
Yes.
And it man, this thing drives you crazy.
Yes.
Now, most times,
Yes.
let's say you are dating or you're even married.
Yeah.
There's when we were growing up, you used to hear of Uncle so and so, or even if it would be your own dad. After work, he'd go to the bar for one drink, one drink or two drinks before he gets home. And he used to get home at 7. Mm-hmm. He pushed it to 8.
Yeah.
He pushed it to 10. He started coming midnight, 2, 3 in the morning.
Now the next day.
Now the next day. Now he's a guy you used to see come home. Now you only hear him come home. But when you're leaving to go to school, let's say when you're a kid, he's nowhere because he's sleeping.
Yes.
Or he slept for like 2 hours and he left
He's already
again.
left, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, that's a situation that happens every so often.
Yes.
And he's not going to, he let's keep saying, yes, man, work is so stressful.
Yes.
Work is so stressful. But he's having the conversation at the bar. Yeah. So the money he's earning from the thriving economy is being used in a space to enable a very unhealthy habit.
Yeah.
Now, because he's not talking about these issues
in a
after
healthy
he leaves
way.
in a healthy way, after he leaves the bar,
Yes.
the wife would have noticed him doing these things for a while. And at some point, she will now maybe have the courage to point it out and say, husband, every day you coming home, you're drunk.
Yes.
You smell of alcohol. You are not taking your responsibility seriously. The kids are not getting to see you after they come back home from school. Yes. You're not spending time with them. You're not coming to eat with us as a family. You're by yourself. You're absent.
Yes.
Now to him, when he's at the bar, what is he saying? At home, my wife just likes complaining. But the root cause of she's complaining about his behavior.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with her. Right?
Yeah.
It has everything to do with his work environment. But he's not telling his wife that he is working in a place that is driving him nuts. For them to have a talk about it, a strategy about how to maneuver that situation.
Yeah.
Maybe for them to also get into the conversation of, okay, if you're looking to quit, where are we financially?
Yeah.
So that we can see if you quit and we have this loss of income, how does it destabilize us? What sacrifices need to be made?
Thank you for that example. It's just too powerful. I've just played the whole thing in my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm in this work environment where the work environment, okay, let's say I'm working, I'm being paid so well. The money is good.
There you go.
But the environment is too toxic.
Yes.
And the environment being toxic forces me to address that. Your brain will force you to address that. How you address it is totally up to you. Yes. But your brain will demand you to address that. And let's say you go the way where you go to the club after work. That's your way of addressing it. And now you are cultivating another problem onto your problem. Your wife will also demand for answers.
There you go.
You get what I mean?
Now you're going somewhere.
Yes. Now, okay, let's now reverse it back a little bit. Let's say you're earning so well and the environment is toxic. How would you address this in a healthy way?
Therapy. That's one. Number two, talk it out with your partner.
Yes.
That's why your partner is there for a reason.
And also,
I believe that the basis of your marriage, one of the things that holds you guys together is because you have this type of conversation. Your partner, you're basically, going to your partner is your safe space. So you have the stressors at work. Sometimes you may not even wait till end of day to go and have the conversation. It could just be a simple message. Man, today it's one of those days at work. And then all she comes through with is words of affirmation. To just keep you going until 5 p.m. when you clock out. And then now when you get home,
to manage you during that
you
period.
could have a cry session. You could have a whole talk session with your partner. You could be treated to a favorite meal. You could be treated to a couple's cooking session for dinner.
Exactly.
As a way to decompress.
Yes, and now that actually for me, I keep saying, like, we men, we need to start working on our relationships. Your partner should be your safe space. So should your friends.
Yes,
it's non-negotiable right now, because I feel like if if you have friends who are not your safe space and you have a wife who's not your safe space, and this is not a situation out of the moon, this is a situation that exists in so many homes around us.
Yeah.
So you need to, for a second, just ask yourself, if something goes wrong anywhere, where would you go for help? Nearly nowhere. Nearly nowhere.
Yeah. So you internalize, you suppress.
Yes.
But at some point, what you suppress, it comes out.
Exactly. And then when you're in that job, and then now you get fired.
Because you had a violent outburst with your colleague.
Yes.
Who didn't send the email on time.
Yes.
Who showed up 2 minutes late for work.
Something that you could have avoided. Something that you could have managed better. And now that is something that is actually leading you out of the door from that space of your work.
Yeah.
And now you have a valid reason to say economy is to blame.
There we go.
Holy moly.
Break?
This is the Naked Ego Podcast. Let's take a short break.
I love it.
Welcome back to the Naked Ego Podcast. As I had just said before, sometimes I talk so fast that I eat my words. So as I had just said before, was now this guy has lost his job. Now let's bring him 2 or 3 steps back.
Yes.
You've not lost your job yet.
Yeah.
Let's paint this guy. You are the type of guy who, when you would show up at parties, like the bills would be taken care of. Guys would drink whatever beer of their choice, whatever whiskey or wine of their choice. You are there, you would take care of that comfortably. Guys didn't need to worry about who is going to pay, how much can I drink, can I afford it. You are the guy. And that becomes part of your identity. Let's go back home. Your kids are going to Brook House. Yeah, they have a driver. They have their own car. They get picked up in the morning. They get dropped to school. They get picked up in school. They get dropped home every day. Your wife, before she even steps out to go to work, all her bills have been taken care of. Yeah, the car she's driving, you bought her a very nice, good-looking car. The insurance cover is taken care of. The medical cover is taken care of.
Yes.
She's got a debit card to use and make sure she takes care of anything in the house.
Yes.
You're the type of guy who, when you showed up at work, the moment the car stopped, you didn't need to open your door.
It was open for
The
you.
door was opened for you. You didn't need to carry your documents or your briefcase. It was carried for you.
Yes.
You didn't need to open your office door. It was opened for you. When you walked in, the secretary was there with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea to your liking. The moment, yes, the newspaper is there on your desk. You just need to peruse.
Yeah.
The things that you need, your attention is right there on your desk.
Yeah.
Everything, like literally, as you said, all the doors have been opened for you.
Yes.
Anything you needed or anything you need or want is already sorted. Like this is a life that all of us have been conditioned and brought up to. Yes. All the way from our childhood.
You know, growing up, a lot of us, how we grew up was your parent will make a lot of sacrifices to take you to what, to the best schools, that the schools that they could afford.
Yeah.
Some were lucky enough to go to really good schools. Some just, what we call normal schools.
Yeah.
But those were sacrifices that our parents made.
Yes.
But the advice we were given, regardless of whatever school you went to, was that for you to get that good life, that good life you've painted, you go to school, you read hard, you do your exams, you pass. You get through primary, secondary, you do the same thing, you pass. You get to university, you do the same thing. Now you get into the job sector.
Yeah.
And when you get in the job sector, now you rise up the ranks to, the levels that you have spoken of.
Yes.
And the assumption, no, not the assumption, the guarantee that we were given growing up, that if we rose to those ranks you've spoken of, we will be guaranteed a good life.
Yes.
A life worth living.
Yes.
A life that will be desired by many others.
A life that has been dreamt of by so many men.
A life that will have you being called a mentor.
Yes.
So now you will be charged with the responsibility of mentoring others to be like you, because you are the epitome of a man who has made it.
Yes.
And that there's nothing to do with your character or anything. This is just purely your success. Your success is purely on just this the picture you've painted.
Yes.
So brings in this man's identity. So the identity is, his title, his name, his title.
Yeah.
In this organization, whether it's a corporate job or a business.
Yes. The neighborhood.
And then now what he's standing in.
Yes.
Society.
Yes.
The neighborhood he lives in.
Yes.
The car he drives.
The type of wife you have.
The type of clothes you wear.
Yes.
The type of trips you take.
Yeah.
Where you actually go. The destinations.
Yes.
The destinations you go to.
Yes.
I've said the clothes you wear.
Yes, you talked about
clothes, shoes, the accessories.
Yes.
That come with your outfit.
Yeah.
The type of drinks you drink.
Yeah.
The type of drinks you drink.
Yeah.
When you are coming up the ladder, you know the type of the whiskeys you're taking were low budget.
Yes.
But there's this thing that apparently when you make it up there, your palate has to grow.
It has to grow with you.
It
has to grow with you.
So if you're drinking budget whiskeys, you're drinking the what do you call it? What's a low budget whiskey? I don't know. There's one.
I don't know. I don't drink, brother. Unless I Google.
It's okay. So you're low budget whiskeys. Now you get to a place where now your palate
Can I even
grown.
tell you something? I even don't know the difference between whiskeys. There is whiskey, there is
gin,
brandy, there's brandy. I don't know the difference, man. I'm just that guy who is clueless.
You're just that guy.
Doesn't know anything. Yeah.
I used to drink. Yeah. So the example I give is, let's say now you when your palate grows with you.
Yeah.
For the whiskey takers, you take, let's say, like Glenfiddich.
Yes.
18 usually now they come in years.
Yeah.
So let's say you're at Glen 15, 18, 21.
Yes.
And that definitely means you'll be paying a lot more.
True.
For these drinks. You'll be drinking.
Just to cement that point, a friend of mine, I asked a friend of mine, what would you like as a birthday present? He told me he wanted Glenfiddich something. And then when I went to check the price of that beer, it was 12,000. 12,000 bomb.
It's a whiskey.
It's a whiskey.
Not a beer.
Oh, it's a whiskey. So when I went to check the price of that whiskey, it was 21,000.
Wow.
Yes. And I was like, what?
21,000.
21,000? I don't want to spend 21,000 on you, brother. I'm not there yet.
And even if you're to spend 21,000 on your friend, I don't think I'd spend it buying you alcohol.
Yes.
I think I'd go do maybe like shopping for your house worth 21,000.
Exactly. I would.
Yeah.
I would spend it on alcohol if most of the things in your life you've already taken care of.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Like you've done most. Like probably that 21,000 worth of whiskey is just a reward. Bro, you're doing good. But if so many other aspects need attention,
Yeah, that's
Even 5,000 is too much.
I'd rather even ask, do you have any debts worth some money? I'd go
Yeah.
pay off your debt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now, okay, we were at, your palate has grown.
Yes. Now.
So your taste has grown. That comes with more money.
Yeah.
You know, and so now you're living what we call the good life.
The good life.
With
Like,
the assumption that there's no ill mental health
yes,
going on there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because earning power is in check.
You've got a good beauty. Like, think about, for those who are listening, for those who are watching, think about the men that you admire in your circles in the society. That is the type of man you're trying to paint a picture.
Yes.
Yes.
That guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
And
Now we spin it to COVID came.
Yes.
Some of those guys lost their
jobs.
What next?
Yes. And now this guy has lost his job. And this is one thing I've discovered. Sometimes in life, when you are in that space of chasing, space of work, you kind of tend to be too busy that sometimes you don't even notice so many little things. Even sometimes you don't even know the weight of the amount of money you pay on rent.
It's true. There's just a standing order that just
goes. It just goes. Like, you don't even notice the amount of money that you give people on handouts in a single month.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's true.
And now all this is gone.
Identity crisis.
Like that just shows you how, for a man, how you choose to identify yourself and how you choose people around you to actually identify with you is so important.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that job.
No.
Your wife is driving a sleek new car full of the fuel card is already there. She shops wherever she wants without really thinking or caring how much she spends. Yes. Everything is taken care of. Now you don't have the money. You can't. Okay, it might not hit you immediately because of the type of guy we've painted the picture on. Yes. It will take time. But let's say it comes so fast and now it's there with you. How do you manage the expectations of your kids who they get picked up every morning from your house in their own private cars? They get dropped at Brook House Academy. How do you explain to them that, one, the car that you guys were using was actually not even sell, it's being repossessed.
By the way, don't even have to sell.
Yes,
being repossessed.
It's being repossessed. How do you manage your wife who's driving Range Rover Vogue? Yes, maroon one. Yes. Maroon one, to be specific. Like, how do you go to her and explain to her that this car needs to go because, okay, while I was there, I didn't take care of my finances, or probably A, B, and C, or probably I was too busy paying attention to how you looked and how you appeared to the society, as opposed to actually how you really feel and what do you really want.
Or the maintenance costs for that car just now high. You can't
afford it anymore.
Your company used to pay for them.
Yeah.
So remember, you are not feeling the pinch.
Yes.
Because your title, your position in that company gave you the perks of school fees being paid for, health insurance being catered for, your car maintenance being catered for. Sometimes even maybe you have a house allowance. So that caters for your shopping, a bit of your shopping, and even, let's say, the domestic manager who will help you around the house.
Yes.
So now, for the kids, as you've said, the car repossessed.
Yes.
Two,
fees can't be afforded.
So you need to get them out of that school.
Yes.
And get them to a cheaper school. So there's a culture shock that comes with that change. Three, your wife's car is now too expensive to maintain because now, usually the way life happens.
Yes.
You lose the job, and that's the time the car needs the major service. Gearbox, engine, gearbox, everything.
Yes.
And it costs a hefty penny.
Yes.
That now, if you look at your account, you can't afford. Yeah. car insurance runs out.
Yeah.
Your health insurance is just about to run out, and it's not just for you; it's for you and the three. Let's say you have 2 kids, so you and your 3 dependents. Yeah, you have to buy newspapers.
True.
You have to now make a list
Yeah.
for shopping for your house.
Yes.
And then you have to budget. You have to now. This is when you start knowing costs for everything. How much does a bunch of skooma cost? How much does maize flour actually cost?
Yeah.
How much does Blue Band? Because now you can't do butter.
Exactly. And also to just to spin it around to try and capture as much possibilities as possible. In most cases, when that happens, when you lose your job, sometimes it never hits you immediately.
No.
And now, what most of us do, we still maintain the lifestyle.
There we go. In fact, I'm glad you've gone there.
We still maintain the lifestyle.
I'm glad you've gone there.
And now, a month, 2, 3 down the line, now everything hits us at a go.
Yes.
The day you the moment you delayed a day to pay for your car insurance, that's when the car is involved in an accident.
Yes. That is it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad you've gone there because it's what happens. And you see now, like, for example, if you're in a job where your exit package,
yes,
was somewhat okay.
Yeah.
You see, the smart thing to do would be cut costs.
Yes.
But most people, because of image, because of identity, men were really big on image. We're really big on identity. We're so big on titles.
Yeah.
I'm not just Edgar Jamlek. I'm Edgar Jamlek, that guy.
Yeah.
But now there's no identity. There's no title that comes with me. But I'm like, no, I need to be relevant in my circle.
Yes.
So you still drink the same expensive whiskey. You still eat your medium to rare steaks. You still want to buy, the most expensive bacon in your house. You would still want to live in the house that you're paying 300,000 bob for rent.
Let me introduce an interesting aspect to it. For me, what you're trying to explain happened to me after my accident. After my accident, my accident was the beginning of a long time of me just actually dipping and going. My finances were just dipping. And I remember, guess what happened after my accident? I went ahead and bought myself 1.5 million worth of a motorcycle that I couldn't afford.
I remember the motorcycle. I just didn't know how much it costed. So, hey, 1.5, bro?
Yeah.
1.5?
Yes, 1.5.
Yeah.
I bought myself a motorcycle, a new one from State. I shipped it myself, brought it cleared. Did everything for myself. Why? Because I was overcompensating.
Overcompensation.
Yes.
So ways people deal with that loss of identity.
Yeah.
Overcompensation.
Yes. Like for me, I was overcompensating. And it was not just the motorcycle. There was buying an extra double cab car that I didn't really need.
Okay.
You get it? Now I have 2 double cabs car. And the other one, I bought it on loan. Which later caught up with me.
So you have the 1.5, you have the double cab,
yes,
and then you have the double cab on loan.
Yes.
So you've... Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
I see where you're going.
Yes.
So instead of using the 1.5 to clear the loan, you bought the bike.
I bought the bike.
You bought a car.
Yes, bought the car.
The loan still stood.
And like the amount of stupid decisions that I made at that time there were just so many. I remember the 1.5 million that I used to buy my car, I went and withdrew from my fixed deposit from I&M. I remember.
Yes.
What a move.
Yes. But that's the reality of things. That's what's happening.
Yes, that's what made sense to me.
That's what
identity.
The levels you will go.
Yes, to protect
your identity, to protect your image in the society that you live in, so that you don't lose friends.
Yes.
So that people can still come for your birthdays.
Yes.
So that people can still come to your dinners.
So that your ego is still stroked.
It is still stroked. You can still go to the bar and pay for drinks. And now we bring in the other. It even goes deeper because now a lot of people are living their lives on credit.
Yeah.
So to protect images, I've come across stories where there's someone who maybe like on Friday, because Friday maybe either Wednesday is a very good day to go out.
Yes.
Then you go into the weekend.
Yes.
So we find that before the time for going out comes, on Thursday they've already asked like 10 people for 2K, 3K, 3K, 4K.
Yes.
You know, I'm good for it. I'll pay you back.
Yes.
So by the time they're getting to Friday evening, when they're entering the club, man, the chest is out.
Up there.
Up. Let's go. What are you drinking? I got it. And then they pay. But now what happens is, yes, you live on that high.
Yeah.
You know, live the alcohol high. You live on that, you know, that adrenaline, you know, that dopamine high. Yes, people are accepting me in this place. Look, man, these guys will talk about me tomorrow that I bought the drinks. I paid for the shisha. I don't know what. And then what happens? Tomorrow morning you wake up, all the money that you had is gone. You still have to live normal life. Your clean lady has come.
Yeah.
And she's asking. No, she's not. She was there yesterday. She cleaned the house for you yesterday before you went out, preparing you for the weekend.
Yeah.
Then she texts you, oh, mzee, umesahau ile pesa yangu? Haujanilipa bado? Nitumie M-Pesa.
Ilikuwa wiki mbili. That's what mine tells me.
You drive out of your house and then all of a sudden a boda guy, pop!
You've talked of asking loans, and I remember there's a time. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I need a beating sometimes when I think of the things I've done. I remember I was so broke. I asked money from friends, and it totaled up to 8,000 bob. Guess what I was going to do with that 8,000 bob? There was this chick who...
Anytime you start with this chick, just like I know, boom. It's not going to end well.
Yeah, there was this chick who I had been asking... I had asked her... Had asked to take her out for a long time. And then she kept saying no. And then this day she said yes. And then she picked the hotel that we were going. And the nigga was broke. What did the nigga do? The nigga went around in his circle, asked for 2K, 5K. And I remember we went there, spent the night. That morning when I checked out, I was like, nigga, I even don't have money for fuel to get home.
Oh, God. And that's the reality, bro.
Yeah.
That's the reality that guys are living in.
Yes, like it sounds like a joke, but that's the life. That's the life back in our spaces. Like, it's just crazy. Like, the amount of... Like, for me now, going out of my way to loan for money to go and entertain this lady, it was all out of me wanting to feel important. Like, me just stroking my ego. You get it? It's just something as simple as identity. How do I want this lady to identify with me?
So I think then it begs a more fundamental question.
Yeah.
You know, what is your identity as a man?
Yeah.
And how feasible is this identity in the next, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now? Yeah. Because I think, like, when we started this podcast, we talked about, like, readjusting.
Yes.
COVID hit, guys. And regardless of how many people you borrowed money from to keep up the lifestyle,
you can't.
You it caught up with you.
Yes.
Your ways caught up with you.
It always does.
And then when it does, you fall even deeper.
Yeah.
And then you see now probably what happens is that the money, let's say you borrowed from friends, you didn't pay back.
Nope.
So you've lost the goodwill of the friends who could have actually helped you.
Yeah.
When you lost your job,
sometimes
weren't in a good place.
You actually lose those friends for good.
You lose them for good because now their goodwill is gone. You messed around with it. You decided that. And the thing is the power of social media.
Yeah.
So you'll borrow the 8K that you borrowed. You go to the club. And then someone will put you on, if it's not you putting yourself on social media, it's the person next to you
Yeah, it's
who
her.
probably has a follower
Yeah.
that is the person who you owe money.
Or sometimes, why do you stop assuming that we are too smart and clever? She just puts it on story and tags you, and you, being as stupid as you always are, you just repost
Add
it.
to story.
Yeah. Why?
Add
Because
this to story.
you want Eddie to know that I was here yesterday.
Yeah. But at what cost? Because after all that, then what happens? You lose. You lose. You know? So you could be in. So it goes back to the tweet.
Yes.
You could be in the thriving economy.
Yes.
And all this happens
Happens to you.
to you. Let's say even remove COVID, because there are people who this has happened to without a pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah. And you lose all of that.
Yeah.
Then what? Therapy. Good friendships. Therapy.
Yes, and you remember you had talked of how do men now maneuver once they are in this pit. Now they've thrown themselves inside this pit. How do we dig ourselves out of this hole?
So I'll use it as like a parting shot.
Yeah.
I think for me it comes down to intentional friendships. Mm-hmm. You have to have an intentional community around you.
Yeah.
Number two, it begs you to be very honest about your life, honest about the life experiences you've had and how they have impacted you. Put your pride aside, put your ego aside, and just be honest with yourself, because when you dig that deep, you will get some truths.
Bro, you have to repeat that. Being honest. There's a difference. People say being honest. Yes, sometimes you have the courage to be honest with other people, especially if it's you telling them no to favors. Like, hey, no, Sinado.
I don't have money, I'm not going to give you.
But I feel like it's always a challenge. For me, up until now, it's something I'm actually teaching myself. Being honest with myself. Being honest with myself.
It's very important, man.
Like just being candid and assessing the situation and explaining to myself as is.
Yeah.
As is. Those two tiny details.
Yeah.
It's so important for you as a man to be very honest with yourself first. Continue.
So there's honesty.
Yes.
After honesty, I just say, man, therapy works.
Therapy works, man.
Therapy works. But I think also for it to work foolproof, if you have intentional friends, who you're honest with, who you are able to, talk to and have very candid conversations, they'll be able to know anything and everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly about you, so that in the event you act out of what we deem as out of character, they will look at it as, a red flag. They're like, hey, no, there's something that's going on there. We need to investigate further. We need to go. This begs us as this guy's friends to be there for this guy. So how do we show up for this guy? Is it we go and we do shopping for him?
Yes.
Is it we help him sort out rent? Is it that we help him with school drop-offs and pickups?
Yeah.
Or is it that we help them pay for school transport for the kids, because school transport is available? Is it that we start helping out with maybe school fees? Because I've seen friends who that's how they've come through for their own.
Yeah.
But they didn't get there by mistake.
Being intentional.
They put in some work. They're so intentional about it. As they didn't have all the answers. But I think if you're a group of even 3, what you don't know, probably someone else in that group knows. Or even knows halfway.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
something.
it'll beg you to research the other half.
And grow it.
So that's my parting shot.
I feel like I don't know what happened and where it happened and who started it. I feel like we've been conditioned to kind of just look for easy way out in so many things. Like we're looking for the good the glorified friendships that we are always laughing with each other, going out, going to parties. If you have an opportunity, I'm calling you up for a job. Like whatever we're trying to envision and living it is not, it's not true. It's not real.
It's not real.
Yeah, I feel like we're trying to chase something that doesn't exist. And with that, it leads us to relationships and connections that don't make sense. Connections and relationships and friendships that are very superficial, that one moment like this, it breaks all of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like even though we said what we would, what can men do when they find themselves in this situation, it's not a point form where we can say go do A, B, and C. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Friendships, relationships, and you as a man just building and working on yourself, it's hard work.
Yeah.
We need to appreciate hard work as men. We need to be willing to do things that are very uncomfortable. For me, that's one thing I've discovered. That's one thing I've come to terms with. Good relationships take time.
They do.
They take time. We need to appreciate the fact that these things take time. We need to put in that time. And we need to be very willing from the word go to have uncomfortable conversations with these people.
Yeah.
With your partner, with your friends, with your family. You having this conversation is you protecting yourself. I feel like we as a society, we just have a lot to do. We need to have friends who are there for us for the sake of wanting us to win.
Yeah.
Even your partner, you need to be with a partner who wants both of you to win. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it goes back. It's the answer is there with us, but we're just running away from it every day.
Yeah.
And you remember I was telling you about money.
Yes.
I feel personally, money is a good place for a man to hide.
Yes.
Money is a very good place, a very comfortable place for a man to hide. You remember the type of guy we were painting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy, no man will ever care or even think about their mental health.
No.
And if that man is cruel, nobody will have the guts to tell him.
That's true, because they're probably are getting something from.
Not even you feel like the punishment that will be thrown against you is just too much. Like we don't have the guts. We as men, we've actually been conditioned to kind of consider a hierarchy when it comes to other concerns. There are certain concerns that you can direct to certain people, but not to certain people.
Yeah. You pick and choose.
Yes, you pick and choose.
You pick and choose. Yeah.
I just feel if there is one thing that men can pick from this episode is we need to be willing to do the hard work. And we need to start doing the hard work right now.
Across the board.
Because sometimes we run this race called life, having fun, entertaining ourselves. And then when shit hits the fan,
everyone bails, man.
You discover the people, everyone around you can't really help you.
Nope. Like that's like, oh my God, can't do this. They bail.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot often.
Like, let me ask you. I always have situations where total strangers, no, maybe not total strangers, but people I have maybe had one or two conversations with, or maybe even never had conversations with, asking me for money. From from nowhere, really. Like, you're asking me for money. If you are asking me for money and I see you are in a pack of like 5, 6, 7 people every other weekend, why don't you ask money from those people?
Why?
And that should tell you something. Yeah. If you are scared to ask them for money, and then you cross and then you come and ask a total stranger, somebody you even don't know how much money they are making, you even don't know if they have that 10 or 2. Maybe I just have people who are lending me good shirts and good trousers to wear.
True. It's true.
Yes, maybe I don't have that money, man.
It's true, man.
But that, I feel like, honestly, how I've been structured, how I've been wired, I can't walk up to a stranger and ask them for money.
Same here.
You get it?
Same here. And it's not a pride thing. It's not a
pride thing. Like, I have, Eddie, I have you. I have people around here, people I can talk to.
Yeah.
Like, The 6 of us, if we sit together, we will come up with a solution.
That's true.
You get it? Yes, so I feel like let's just put in the work, man.
That's it.
Let's just put in the work.
Put in the work.
Yes. This is the time where we men need to put in the work with our relationships, with the connections, with the being intentional with the people you interact with, even at our workspaces.
Yeah.
Let's just put in the work in terms of what's your productivity like? What do you want to achieve from this space? What do you want to achieve? What do I want to achieve with you as Edgar? You get it? Like, what is the connection? Where are we going?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
I can't say this more than I've said it, man.
It's fine. That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's enough.
Yeah, this is Naked Ego Podcast, man.
Until next time.
Until next time, man. This has been one of those episodes where guys just go in and put in the work. Let's just put in the work.
Put in the work. We love you, man. Bye-bye. Till next time.
Cheers.